I hear the crying from the children on the Why can't we try when we hear a young child scream? Man, is it too much to ask us to help them before they believe? I say, hey there, brother, is it so hard to come in? Yeah, and reach out your hand. Man, love's not a sin. Well, why don't you answer, man? Why don't you stop? We gotta get this together now. I say last one loves more. Yeah, we all need love, don't we? I remember a time when we were down there too. Hey man, did you forget all the things we had to do? I say, hey there, brother, is it so hard to come in? Yeah, and reach out your hand. Man, love's not a sin. Hey there, brother, is it so hard to come in? Yeah, and reach out your hand. Love's not a sin. I said love's not a sin. Yeah, we gotta get this together, man. We're all taking here backwards. We gotta use our heart and our heads together to do it right. Come on. Love ain't no sin.
Hello. Hi, my name's Jesse Wilson, and I'm running this workshop. I'm the CEO of LoveCry. It's been passed on to me from my mentor, Angel, my dear friend and chosen mother. The charity was founded in 1991 by Angel Richmond, who I met in early 2000. Angel quickly became my mentor because of the situation I was in regarding the child welfare system and the issues that were regarding my daughter. After her passing at LoveCry, Angel, LoveCry was gifted to me to continue its work. Now we are trying to start a new beginning for LoveCry as we start to work towards mental health and the child welfare system to prevent abuse and homelessness through love. So the music video that you saw featured Angel, and this is pretty much the video that started it all for LoveCry. It's what made Angel quit. She quit the rock world. She quit her band. She quit her life in order to help the kids on the street because it was an issue that wasn't being looked at. So for me, for this retreat, I would like to start with a poem that involves Love by Khalil Gibran. And I'm just going to read it here shortly. So it says, "Speak to us of love. He raised his head and looked upon the people, and there fell a stillness upon them. And with a great voice he said, when love beckons you, follow him. Through his ways are hard and steep, and when his wings unfold, you yield to him. Through the sword hidden among his pinions may wound you, and when he speaks to you, believe in him. Through his voice may shatter your dreams, as the north wind lays waste the garden. For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he is for your growth, so is he for your pruning. Even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that quiver in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. Like sheaves of corn, he gathers you unto himself. He threshes you to make you naked. He shifts you to free you from your husk. He grinds you to the whiteness. He kneads you until you are pliant. And then he assigns you to his sacred fire that you may become sacred bread for God's sacred feast. All these things shall love do unto you, that you may know the secrets of your heart, and in that knowledge become a fragment of life's heart. But if in your fear you would seek only love's peace and love's pleasure, then it is better for you that you cover your nakedness and pass out of love's threshing floor into the seasonless world where you shall laugh, but not all your laughter, and weep, but not all your tears. Love gives you not but itself, and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed. For love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in God's heart. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love and must needs have desires, let these be your desires. To melt and be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night. To know the pain of too much tenderness. To be wounded by your own understanding of love. And to bleed willingly and joyfully. To wake at dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving. To rest at the noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy, to return home at eventide with gratitude, and then to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise upon your lips. I chose this poem because I found it very profound and allows opportunity to think on a deep level about what love actually is. So for me, I'm going to try to incorporate this into my situation with what I endured with the child welfare system regarding the situation with my family. So, my daughter and I, like our relationship, it was very strong and we were growing. And she told me something um, about something harmful happening to her related to abuse. And so I did everything I could to help her. And so here it goes. So I was consumed by the hatred, trying to protect my family with the only thing, the only way I knew how, which was anger. The more angry I was, the more justified the child welfare system felt in their conclusion about who I was. And the more they felt justified, the more angry I became, the more justified I became in fighting. But this wasn't leading me to who I was and to my family. It was creating, so the more I felt it was against me, this started to create an attachment to my story about I should be able to protect my daughter. I love my daughter. This is who I am. And I was attached to these ideas, but yet holding on to those things were what were making me angry. And it wasn't following love. I was trying to guide love the way I wanted it to be, the way it was supposed to be for me, the way the relationship was supposed to be for us. My daughter wasn't supposed to experience pain. And yet that's not up to me. That's a God thing. And so I had to find the power of love in order to transform that situation. Sorry. Again, I kind of lost where I was at. I'm sorry. Um, so I started to create a story of an attachment because I thought love was supposed to be a certain way. Fuck. Sorry. What? So the only way that I was able to protect my daughter, given the circumstances, was understanding what love really was and to love myself. And by doing so, I was able to create a life. So now I have 4 kids and a family at this point because of that superpower of love. So working through those deep emotions of this isn't right, this shouldn't be this way, and I was able to go in and communicate in ways that I wasn't able to be labeled. I wasn't able to be called sick. I wasn't able to be called a bad parent, a bad father. I kept showing that no matter what they thought of me, I kept pursuing love. I kept doing what was right for my daughter, no matter what they thought of me. They said that she was scared, that she didn't want to see me, that I was bad, that my mom's not there for me. Everyone's against me. They threatened Angel to stay away, that they're going to sue her. And so all these things are very harmful and very hurtful for the way you think about yourself and the world around you. And so I was consumed pushing everyone away that I loved because I was so hurt and expected that, well, why don't they care? Why aren't they doing something for me? And it's like, well, they can't do something for me. They can only do what they can do based on my love. So if I'm not loving, they can't change the situation for me. The more hatred, the more anger I got, the more my situation stayed the same. And when I started to love and change, I started to build I started to build relationships. I started to build community. And now I was able to go back to school because that was one thing that was really hard for me, was to even go back to be part of a system that willingly does this to families. And that's where I'm trying to change the narrative to where maybe it's not intentional. Maybe it's just unknowingly uninformed and not enough knowledge about love. Because when you're dealing with trauma and that type of pain, love is the only thing that is going to change. Love is the only thing that will change that situation for you. And so that's a big part of mine, is because I think the attachment part is where I find a lot of people get stuck, and we believe that the wrong that's been done to us is always someone else's fault. And the hard part of dealing with this type of pain and trauma is that the only person that you can blame is yourself. And then from there, you could fix. It gives you control. It gives you power against over your life again. When you take responsibility for your faults, for the things that have happened wrong in your life. It might not be your fault. It might not be this, but it is in a sense because of your energy, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you're raised, the way you were treated, the abuse you suffered, the bullying, the conditions from the system. It's all a conditioned way of thinking, and these things need to be broken. And I find that we're all afraid to break the conditions because of how our parents feel, or how our families feel, or how our friends feel. But breaking the condition doesn't teach you to hate them. It actually brings love. It brings a better relationship. But most people get scared and vulnerable and turn on it, because then how are they wrong? How is their thinking? Am I wrong? Do I do all these mistakes? Do I think like this? Is it my fault? And that's where the ego comes into play, because it's not all our fault, but it's our fault in the sense of how we think after it happens. Like the situation that happens to us isn't our fault, but the thing that after, the impact it has on us, is our fault. The responsibility to learn how to think, to respond in a way that matters, to make change so that the people don't continue to suffer. Because it's not just one, it's not just me. I believe there's hundreds and thousands of families that are suffering because of that skill that's missing, the love, the unconditional love part. And then we're kind of forced by Children's Aid to agree to their process, because if you don't, you're kind of deemed unstable, unfit, uncooperative. You're kind of going up against the monster. And it's like, well, shouldn't we be able to say those complaints and have them looked into rather than being dismissed and put down for them? Because given the circumstances, I'm a white privileged male, and these circumstances affected me drastically and almost destroyed my family. If it wasn't for the work that Angel did with me, I wouldn't have a family. I wouldn't have a life. I would be in a jail. I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't have a relationship with my daughter, my family. I would have nothing. Angel opened doors so that I didn't just have one path. And that's what we're here for, is for when people don't have another option, don't have another path to choose. I believe I could help open doors in ways that empower you to feel the love that's within you to overcome your troubles. And that's why I have this meditation that I have in line here as well, because it's something that works on dealing with the self on a situation in an argument or something that you feel like you weren't good enough in. And then we work through that to understand, and you find the enlightened self of yourself. But I'll explain it more when we get through when I get to the meditation. And then I just want to like put this quote thing there too, because it's a little piece of Martin Luther King, but we'll match your capacity to inflict suffering with our capacity to endure suffering. And that to me is like a very powerful statement, because they want to inflict suffering, because when you inflict suffering, we show our true selves in a sense. We show our anger, we show our resentment, we show our negative sides. And for them, they think that's who we are. And that's why I think that finding the capacity to endure suffering will not only change your life, but inevitably change the child welfare system. Because the more families that could stand in a loving manner and not return in anger, resentment, it will be impossible for Children's Aid to continue that harmful work. They will have to look and reassess theories in order to support the families that are proven in need. Um, so there's this one story by Jack Cornfield, where this mother and has a son, and one day her son's out going to the store, and her son gets shot and killed by a gang member, um, just for initiation, like initiation into the gang. And so, months go on, the court date comes up, and the mother shows up to the trial, and they're asking anyone, does anyone have anything to say before it ends? And then the mother stands up, and then she says to him, "I'm going to kill you." And then she sits back down. Everyone sits down, and they sentence him, and then he goes to jail, and everyone goes home. A few months go by. She starts to visit him in jail. She starts to go give him money, put cigarettes in his container. And then when it starts getting close to his time for release, she starts to go visit him and talk to him. And so she's asking him, do you have a place to stay? And he's like, no, I don't have anywhere to go. And she's like, well, I have a room in my house. I have a room in my house for you to stay. If you would like to take it, I would offer that to you. And then he says, sure, please, yes, I would love that. And then she says, do you have a place to work? Do you have a job? And he said, no, I don't. And she said, well, I have a job for you as well if you would take that. And so he says, yeah, he'll take that. So as time goes on, he gets out, and she picks him up, and they go back to his place. I mean, her place, his place. And then they're just doing their thing. He's going to work. And then after a few months go by, she calls him into her living room and says, "Do you remember that day in court?" He said, "Do you remember what I said to you?" And then he said, "Of course, I would never forget that day." And then he said that you said that you were going to kill me. And then she said, "I did kill that boy." She said, "I killed that boy that would kill an innocent human being for no reason." And then she became the mother that he never had. And and then he became the son that she lost. And so for me, in that sense, that really shows the power of love, because she could have been resentful, turned to anger, and hated him instead, and he would have continued the cycle. And so by what she did, she kind of honored her son by changing that person and loving them, because now that will never happen again. So it's almost like an honor to me for her son's life, and gives her that power and love inside herself, because to find hatred, it's it's poison. And it's one thing I think it's something like hatred is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Um, so yeah, I find that one a nice one. And so, and then another story, I guess, of that type of forgiveness would be one with Nelson Mandela. He talks about Jack Cornfield mentioned this story where Nelson Mandela's out to lunch with a few of his guards, and he's sitting down at a table with this man, and they're all ordering, they're eating their food, and this man's sitting there, and he's shaking, and he's eating his food, but he can't stop shaking and trembling. And so after they eat and the things, they go off, and the guards are like, "Did you see that man? He was really sick." And the Nelson Mandela responds back, and he says, "No, no, sir, that man wasn't sick. He was my guard for after when I was in jail for those 27 years and being tortured and made fun of and manipulated. And they would come, I'd ask for a drink, they'd pee on my head. That's why he was shaking, sir. He was afraid of me." But then he said, "That's not in me to do that. I wouldn't do that to someone. That's not part of who I am." And that to me, it shows that's real love, that's real strength and power. And that's why these situations happen to us. We're not the weaker ones. We are the ones with the strength. That's why we are in these situations in the first place. Because God knows, the power knows, you even know inside yourself what is right. Lost my topic, man. Yeah. um, okay, so from here, I guess let's try that meditation out now. So we'll just do a quick little breath thing just to get ourselves grounded for it. So we're gonna just do an inhale for the count of 4. So you breathe in for the count of 4, and then you're gonna hold for the count of 6, and then exhale, and then we're gonna hold for the count of 4. I don't know if you guys want me to count it out or not. I can't see you. I can see you. Okay. All right. So we're gonna breathe in for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to hold it for the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now exhale. Now inhale, count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're going to exhale for the count of 8. I mean, hold it for the count of 8. Don't exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now exhale. Inhale for the count of 4. 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exhale. And inhale for the count of 4. 3, 4. And now hold your breath as long as you can. Just hold it as long as you can. Just don't pass out. Everyone exhale now. Okay, so now I'm just going to invite everyone to get comfortable, get into a comfortable seated position. You know, try to have your back relatively straight. You don't want to kind of be like, you don't want to be like hunched over, but you want to be comfortable. You don't have to be all proper, just comfy, so that your body is not bothering you while you're meditating, like, this is hurting, kind of distracting you. So if you can, just like to close your eyes. And so for this one, we're going to imagine a situation that you felt you could have done better in, but you don't want to go too out of your comfort zone. You don't want to go into like severe issue that you won't be able to handle. So just something that's challenging but not overly challenging. So you're going to close your eyes. You're going to imagine you're back in that space, in the situation that you're facing, and you're going to start to remember the room you're in. So you want to start to picture, what you see in the room. What can you touch? What smells can you smell? And at the same time, this conversation that you're having is at its heated point. It's getting as bad as it gets. The things you're saying, the things they're saying. You want to remember how your heart rate is, what you're thinking or not thinking. Can you touch anything? How's your body feeling? And you're trying to pay attention to how you're acting. Everything you can. Try to remember every little detail, the breath, your voice, what you're not saying, what you wanted to say. And now you hear a knock at the door. And so you just put everything on pause. Everything's the same. You go to the door, and at the door, it's either a mentor, an ancestor, someone you look up to, a support, and they switch clothes with you. And then they come in And they go into the situation, and now you just observe them. You're watching what they do, what they say, what they don't say, how they move, how they're feeling. As this time has passed, you take a pause again. You take them back to the door, and now you switch clothes with them. Switch back into your clothes, and as they as they're leaving at the door, they reach under their robe or their shirt or whatever they're wearing, and they give you a gift. That's just for you. You take the gift, you show your gratitude, and then as they're leaving, they whisper something into your ear, something that you need to know, something you need to hear, something that's just for you. And and then you say bye, thank you, and then when you're ready, you can come back to the room. I find, I guess, because like I find that this one's very impactful, um, because it shows you that you have it inside yourself. That no matter how you acted in that given moment, you have the ability to make a different choice. You have that strength within you. So when you're calling on this person, where does this person come from? This person comes from within inside of you. So you always have the capacity to do that in any given situation. It's just given our conditions and our life and our trauma, it's very hard to stay on that task. And so this one was very healing for me because it allowed me to see inside myself that I could be my truest self. And it's not that far away from me. It's not like, oh, it's impossible to get. Like I just proved to myself that it's there. And that's why I think it's so important. And for now, like I don't know if anyone has something that if they want to share what they got, like from your mentor, your ancestor, your prophet. You could share in the text what you got. You could put up your hand if you have any questions, anything that you want to talk about. You could say something about the meditation and how it felt for you, what you got out of it. You can ask me a question if you want. Um, but yeah, I just find that for me this was very profound, especially dealing with complex situations where you're very angry or hurt and you want to find a better way to communicate. It's nice to go through that way because you attach to your heart. You're not thinking. It's coming from I saw them being less angry in meditation. From Jesse to everyone. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so if anyone wants to share anything or ask a question, it's now would be a good time. If you do the react thing, I think there's react, and you could put your hand up, and then we could unmute you, and you could just ask the question. All right, should I move on? Does anyone want to say anything?
Yes.
Oh, where? It's okay. What are the next steps for LoveCry? All right, well, the next steps for LoveCry, I'd say the next steps for LoveCry are trying to build collaboration with the child welfare system in a sense to work with families that are kind of deemed unfit, uncooperative, unworthy in a sense, because those are the families that I want to work with and give them the opportunities to hopefully open doors to the path of love so that they can communicate their difficult situations regarding their family in ways that won't deconstruct their family. Because the system isn't very supportive emotionally. They're not really there to be your friend. And that's a very difficult aspect to deal with when you're dealing with your family in regards to being treated like a number. They need to be more responsive and treat you like a friend, like a family member. But yeah, it's to gain that collaboration and work with families, hopefully with the Children's Aid Society, and and grow. So hopefully show the change that love is a very vital, important part, intrinsic part of the healing process that is being overlooked within the system and education. Um, Without love, I would not have been able to attend school. I would not have gone to school. I would not have my family. I would just be a write-off in a sense. I would be like what they expected me to be, just someone in and out of jail, addicted to some sort of substance. And due to what Angel did for me and these meditations and the work I've done and the poems and the therapy and the volunteer work, my life would be impossible. My life would not be possible. It would not exist. My children wouldn't exist. I would have nothing. So there's this. I just wanted to show a few resources. Um, there's this book here. I don't know if you can see it very well. It is Divorce Poison. I think we're going to show it at the end anyway, so I don't know. I'm trying to get all the information in there. And we could send you the resource thing, but this is Divorce Poison. So this is if you're dealing with parent alienation within the system, or if your partner is, bad mouthing you in order with your child and causing trauma. This book will help you um, not deepen the trauma, if that makes sense. Like it helps you recognize the trauma and respond in a way that's constructive for your family, yourself, and the child. But it also takes a lot of love and willpower because when you're dealing with that and your child's saying angry, mean things to you because of what your so-called partner who loved you made them say, it's triggering. It's it's very upsetting to say the least because this person supposedly loved you, and then you supposedly love them. But then when you love someone, do you kill them after? It's That's not what love is. Love is building and growth and understanding. So when you break up with someone and then you just want to tear them down, how can you say you love them? There's no love there. It's difficult. Yeah, and love, like in the poem, it says love shapes us, but we always try to shape love. And that's where we get conflict. That's where attachment comes in because we want it this way, we want it that way, we want it like this, and love's like, I'm this. We're like, you're this. They're like, well, try me. And we try it and we get beat up and we hurt our relationships. We get hurt by our friends. We hurt our children. We hurt our families. And then we don't want to admit to it. Then we close our head down and be like, that never happened. So it's important to deal with love in a real manner because it is the only way out of these issues. And just like the Jack Cornfield story with the mother whose son was killed by a gang member for initiation, she loved that boy. She didn't hate that boy, and she turned his life around, turned her life around, and made her son's life, who was taken, worth something, meant something. Whereas she could have just turned, got angry, and now his life meant nothing. His life would have meant nothing. And that's how powerful this love is because it's easy to hate. If you think about that story, how easy would it be to hate that child who killed your only son? To turn around and love him and care for him so that he doesn't hurt another boy or himself? That's the superpower of love. So, and then also another thing, I guess, too, would be like that this book here. I don't know if you can see it. It's Dr. Emoto, The Shape of Love. So if I could find 1 second, there's pictures of crystals, of water crystals. So here's a book. See, so this is a water crystal. When respect is thought of and put on the water, this is the crystal under the microscope when they saw it. After they put respect. This one, they put no good, the word no good, and that's what came of it. Sorry. That's how the crystal looks. That is when they did respect, the crystal formed together. When you called it no good, the crystal deformed. And if we're all 70% water inside our body, and if we think negative thoughts, look what it's doing. And if we think positive, we shine, and that's the way out. And I think that the child welfare system is afraid of that aspect because when we get that grounding and when we understand that this is who we are and this is what we want for change, I think they're worried because of their theory and everything they've done. It's like a court case being opened. This judge did this. Now they have to open up all those hundreds of other cases that they neglected. And so that's what I think is really afraid of. If we stand up in a way that they can't beat us down emotionally and use our emotions against us, then there's going to be real change that has to happen. But we have to endure. Like that's like that quote that I said earlier. If we don't match their capacity to inflict suffering with our capacity to endure suffering, it will never change. Children's aid will stay the same. And I'm not talking about tear them down and hurt them or be mad and angry. It's about doing it constructively in a way with love, kindness, care, to show them that there's no need to be afraid of us. They need to love us. We're not here to hurt them. We're protecting our families. They need to understand that. And the only way they're going to understand that is through love. Like there's this other book, Love and Kindness with Sharon Salzberg. She's she's a really great meditation teacher and healer. She offers a lot of her stuff for free, like geared to income, and she'll offer it for free if you can't pay or don't want to pay or whatever the issue is. She'll give it for free. That's one of the only ones that I know that is really renowned and offers free. Jack Cornfield, they do a thing on Spirit Rock, and they offer like discounted prices, which is nice. For like $10, you could get like instead of 160, they'll bring it down to 10 or 55 for an on-day retreat, which is pretty reasonable considering the information you get. Like it's really impactful and powerful. Um, so yeah, and then another one would be the mindful self-compassion. Like this is a good workbook because self-compassion is really the only way to get to loving yourself as well. Um, Yeah, sorry. I could have shared a lot more, but I think that we're moving on to yeah, we're gonna hand out a survey and then we're gonna do a raffle here, so hand out some coffee certificates. Oh yeah, so we got I have two donations from Starbucks. They gave us two $25 gift cards for prizes for this workshop. So thank you for that. It was amazing. And the funny part is too, is because Angel's a big coffee drinker. So it's kind of ironic and coincidence for it to happen that it's coffee that supported us because she was a coffee drinker. She'd only drink like 10% of it, but she'd get a coffee every hour or 2 hours. But yeah, so yeah, thank you all for being here and listening to my shenanigans. But yeah, much appreciated. And the survey is in the chat. If you could just quickly just go to the chat and fill out that little survey monkey. And do you want to do that the wheel thing?
Give me a second.
Yeah, Eckhart Tolle is another good one. The Power of Now. He even has like practices. So these are practices of the power now, and then there's a reading book that goes along with it. But Eckhart Tolle is really good for that, being in the now. He has this book, The New Earth. That one's a really good book that I read through with Angel numerous times. We just read little bits and pieces together for understanding. Because reading these books on your own, when that's not the way you were taught to think, it's almost impossible to understand. Without her, I wouldn't have ever read any of these books, believed in any of this. It's, but now it's my soul. I can't stop believing in it. I can't stop wanting to teach it and being there for others. Uh-oh. You should put Greg, not Craig. I don't know why you put Craig. So funny. Do I have to spin it? Greg. Greg. Great. There isn't Craig in there? Isn't that Greg? That's Greg.
I think it's ready.
Yeah. Report bad ad. What the hell? Oh, look at that. Who's it? It's gonna be Nisha. Alicia. Oh, snap. So Alicia gets $25 gift card to Starbucks. You know, and if you got any problems, want to talk about something, I said it right now. Oh, look at that, Gregory. Yeah, there we go. So Greg and Alicia, you have won those $25 gift cards to Starbucks. Fancy coffee. Angel didn't drink that coffee though. No, we're not. I would like to donate a self-care package worth $80. Please add to the raffle and we'll bring to Toronto for the winner. No way. Well, thanks. Yeah, for $80 gift package. All right. So there's I don't know, a self-care package worth $80. For what's it for? Where? Like, what's the $80 for who? Yeah, I know what's it called, so I could say it. Okay, well, I guess we'll find it. Send it out.
You gonna find where to go.
Oh, Jake, it's self-care. This is all right. Well, that's where I guess I'm at the end of here. So thank you for attending, whoever attended. It was this is our first ever retreat online. Something that whoever thought was possible. So yeah, thanks for showing up and being part of this and supporting LoveCry's first ever, and hopefully more to come. Hopefully some growth, and this is for my final project for school as well. So I'm graduating this year. So yeah, about time. So all right, everyone. Thanks a lot. Namaste. Hope everyone has a beautiful day, beautiful evening. And yeah, there's a resource page on here as well that we could send out to everyone if they want any of those. It has a link to Spirit Rock Meditation Center, a few different books, practices. So, all right. Thanks for coming, everyone, and supporting us in Love Cry. Bye. Kyla, where's the where's the kids? Where is everybody?
One's on the toilet right now.
Oh my goodness. There's the toilet boy. See, there's my family right there. Well, that's my mom and my four kids. One missing one.
Yeah, that's the one on the toilet.
Oh, I thought this was pooping boy.
No.
Boy, too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so this is all possible thanks to Love Cry. So
Good job, Jesse.
hey, thank you. Yeah, where's Sanaa? Sanaa, get off that toilet.
Should we go into her?
Yeah,
She's-
go in the bathroom. Yeah,
Okay.
I was kidding. I was kidding. Leave her alone.
Shiloh wants you, Daddy. Who's like, Daddy. Like, give me, pew, pew.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you. Are you done?
Yeah, it's 7 now. 3 minutes.
poop again?
La, la. Baby. Walk.
Alicia.
Where is Sanaa?
Sanaya?
Yeah,
She's on the can.
I know. No one's getting her off. Ain't no one. I know.
Well, she just went on there.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
think
then
she's-
You guys can see Sanaya next time then.
Hold on, I'll see if she's done. Are you done? Well, hurry up. Daddy wants to see you on the phone. Did you poop? Okay, never mind. She pooped.
Yeah, I know. You gotta wipe that bum. All right.
Yeah, I got it. It's
So
gonna
now-
take me an hour to get up.
Okay, we're recorded. We're good. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Baby.
Okay, B, Shiloh.
Bye.
I don't know how to stop this.
Hello. Let's leave now. Let's go.